Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome back to my channel, Is It Really Your Fault? And tonight we're going to be talking about exactly blame, okay? And this is what gives the book its name, Is It Really Your Fault? It has to do with blame. One of the things that annoyed me the most about narcissists is the way they like to blame us, codependence on everything that they do to us and everything that happened to us. So in the end, it's like you have um, two different sources of pain. In one hand, you are suffering from everything that's being done to you and everything they put us through, all the abuse, all the mental abuse, all the manipulation, everything they do to us, the cheating, the hurting, the name calling, everything. But then there's this one thing about these guys that really annoys me is when they try to flip the game on us and always make us feel that it was our fault. It's like they have this amazing ability to make us feel like we're to blame. So if you ever like found yourself in the middle of all this narcissistic abuse, just stop and think like, oh God, like what am I doing, or what kind of person I am to be creating this sort of problems with my husband or my mom or my dad, or why can't I just have normal relationships? Like why can't I just be more forgiving, or why do I have to always create problems? No. You need to stop, okay? The reason why you're doing all of that is because you are being abused. But because you are being abused by a narcissist that's making you feel that's a monster of making you feel that it's your fault, then you end up questioning yourself over and over again. So when this was happening to me, I found myself hurting because of what was being done to me, and hurting immensely because I just felt like an idiot, like a really bad person. Like, why am I doing this to myself and to this man that loves me so much and wants to have so much peace with me and live with me forever and marry me? Like, why am I causing problems between us? Like, why? And once this was before I even know what a narcissist was, because after I found out what they are and how they act and the things they do, it annoyed me even more, like how much time I lost thinking that it was all my fault. And that's why, for me, one of the most important things when that I wanted to achieve when writing this book and now by making this channel is so that you can understand that it is not your fault. No matter what they tell you, no matter how they make you feel, no matter how much manipulation they use on you, it's not your fault. Period. Okay? That's the first thing you need to understand, that it is not your fault, right? And the second thing you need to understand is what is a narcissist. Okay, so a narcissist, the term narcissist comes from Greek mythology when this guy called Narcissus fell in love with his own image reflected in the water. So he fell in love with himself so much and became so self-centered and so in love with himself that he couldn't even love or see anyone else or anything else besides himself. So this is where the term comes from. And then a narcissist is somebody, of course, who's in love with himself or herself. They're in love with themselves. But also they have other traits that make them narcissists, like an inability to feel empathy. That's number one. A lot of love for themselves. But then you can tell me like, oh Marta, okay, so that person or this person loves themselves. Like, are they a narcissist, or is everyone that loves themselves a narcissist? No. One thing is to have self-esteem, which is great, okay, and I greatly encourage, and I'm working on that too, to get better self-esteem, and I think everybody should do it. That's amazing. But one thing is having self-esteem. The other thing is not being able to love anything else besides yourself. And that's when you become a narcissist. So I'll give you an example. The Portuguese football player, Ronaldo, he really is number one. So he would have everything to be a narcissist because he's so successful, he's number one, he reached the top, he's one of the best in the world. So he really is number one. But you almost don't see him portray himself or talk about himself as number one. And you also see him loving something else besides himself. In this case, Ronaldo loves his family, loves his kids, loves his mom, loves his team, the colleagues, the fans. So all of this show you that he's not that self-centered, that he's incapable of loving something else. But then you also have, when you talk about narcissists, you have you can have a CEO of a company, okay, who's absolutely in love with himself, and he cannot love his wife, he cannot be a good parent, he cannot be a good husband because he doesn't feel empathy for them. He doesn't want to put the time into the relationship, or he doesn't, and we'll get to that because there's one point where they do put a lot of time into the relationship, but that's a means to an end. That's already a scheme, but we'll talk about that later. So a narcissist is somebody who cannot love anything fully except for themselves. Okay, they also feel very grandiose, like let's say let's say that I'm a sales guy and I did 50 sales this year when my colleague did 500 sales this year. But as a good narcissist, I'm going to say that I am number one in sales, or I'm the best in the world in sales, or I'm the best sales guy in the world. Like, that's a narcissist. He has this grandiose thing that they make themselves a million times better than what they really are, and that's how they perceive themselves. They really believe that. So they not only present themselves that way, sometimes lying, but they also believe in those lies. So they really believe that they are the best in the world, that they have nothing to learn with anyone else, that they got it all figured out and no one's better than them. So this is the grandiose thing about them, a very big characteristic of a narcissist. Then, apart from the grandiose, a narcissist also has another trait to them, which is entitlement. Okay, so a narcissist always feel that they're entitled to be treated like queens or kings, or like the best in the world, or that everybody else needs to cater for them, or say a narcissist does one thing for you in your life, like one little thing for you in your life, they just feel that because they did that to you, they are entitled to you licking, kissing the floor they walk on, being forever grateful to them, blah 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 blah. Another example is like, imagine it's a narcissist's birthday. They expect you to get them a present because they are the best in the world. Because what are you thinking? You got to give them an amazing present. So they have this entitlement that people need to give them presents because it's their birthday. On the other way around, when your birthday comes, I assure you the narcissist is not going to get you any present, and you'll be very lucky if they get you some dollar store present or something like this. Again, unless you are in the love bombing stage, and we're gonna get into that in another video so that you can understand when the narcissist is really nice to you, or when they give you presents and all that. Like I said, that's a means to an end, but we're gonna get into that later. So narcissists feel very entitled. Okay, so this entitlement, another example of it that I can give to you is, imagine you live with a narcissist. you're married to one and you live with them, the narcissist feels entitled for you to take care of them. They feel entitled that you are gonna wash their clothes, do their laundry, cook for them, clean after them. And this is a massive narcissist thing, is that they almost do nothing at home, and they are so dirty. Like, imagine the narcissist can be like, one time they can be like, okay baby, I'm going to cook for you, and they leave the whole kitchen a mess. Okay, like a mess. You leave the kitchen spotless, and the narcissist is like, of course you leave the kitchen spotless for me, but then are they going to leave the kitchen spotless for you? No, the kitchen is going to be filthy because they couldn't care less about you when you walk into that kitchen. So that's a big trait about them. Also, another thing is like, as a codependent or an empath, you live with the guy or girl and you go shower before them. So when you finish, you like to tidy up or just make sure there are no hairs in the bathtub, or that the towels are hanging right and everything looks clean and beautiful for when they go use it. Well, the narcissist showers and doesn't give a damn about what the shower is going to look like. They think you need to clean up after their mess, uh, take their mess, suck it up, and live with it. So they couldn't care less about who's coming after them. That's another trait of the narcissists. And the entitlement, of course. They also expect, for example, if your children are narcissists, which happens sometimes, they feel entitled to getting money from you, or sometimes just your partner. Like, say you are doing well in life and your narcissistic partner is not, or is jobless, which they usually are as well, but we'll get into that. But say they are jobless and you have a good job, or you just got a promotion, or you're making a lot of money at work. Well, the narcissist feels 100% entitled to a chunk of your salary, just because they exist, and just because you make more than them, they of course expect you to give them um, a part of your salary, or just pay more of a bill than they are, or just they feel entitled to it, you know. While most of us empaths or codependents, we would feel bad asking someone else for money, someone that lives with us. We feel better in a 50-50 sort of relationship where everybody looks after themselves and it's just a 50-50 fair thing. And we would feel really bad when somebody wants to look after us or just pay the bills for us, unless we really need that. But it's something that we really don't like. Well, the narcissist, on the other hand, it's like, well, the more you can give me, the better. And let me just take advantage of it. And of course, you're going to give me money because I deserve it, because I'm the number one in the world and I'm the best thing you'll ever get. And you're never going to find somebody better than me. Like, that's the number one narcissist thing. Narcissist phrase. I'm sure you heard it a million times from your narcissist. You will never find anyone better than me. Oh my god, the amount of times I heard it from my narcissist ex-partner, like, you wouldn't believe, okay? And guess what? Yes, we can. Yes, we do. And actually, everyone else seems better than you. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so there's a narcissist for you. Now, the other traits about narcissists, well, they are obsessed with their image all the time. So we can find two types of them. One type is absolutely obsessed with their looks, so they will look amazing. So they will take care of their bodies like tirelessly every single day. They can be bodybuilders, weightlifters, they can be top models, they can be glamour models, they can be influencers, but usually the narcissistic woman will have had some sort of surgery. If not surgery, then she's going to be on a diet all the time. She's going to be on a hairdressers all the time. She's going to be doing nails, um, makeup, teeth bleaching, the eyelashes, everything they can, and always wearing the best clothes in the world. Point blank. Both narcissists, like, this is one of the biggest traits. But then, and they are so obsessed with it, you don't understand. They want to make sure that they are number one in the world and that nobody looks better than them, and they love to just like catwalk in the street to get as many attention or people looking at them. Anyone will do. Anybody. It could be a clerk, it could be a waitress. If a waitress looks at a narcissist during dinner, oh my god, like, he's so happy, he's so good, there's his supply. Okay, battery charged, you know. um Social media is also a place where they love to get to see and be seen, and they love to get those likes and that supply and just millions of selfies. Like, I've seen some narcissist profiles online where they have nothing, and I mean nothing, but their face. 3,000 posts of their face or their body, or their face and their body. You know, it seems like there's nothing going on, nothing else going on in their lives except for their face and their body, their image. So that's another typical way of identifying a narcissist. But we'll get into all of that. That's a different video. Don't worry, we're gonna get into it. But besides this type of narcissist, there's another type which is even more ridiculous. And imagine somebody who is either doesn't look good. Somebody who doesn't look good is not beautiful, doesn't have a nice body, could either be overweight or underweight or whatever weight you want or whatever. Physically, they don't look good. Okay? Which is fine. It's not all about our looks. Life is not about our looks. But so imagine this type of narcissists that don't even look good, but they act like they are, I mean, George Clooney or Kate Moss, you know? They think that they are number one in the world. No one's better than me. I'm the best. I'm the shit. I'm the best thing in the world. I'm amazing. And we're just sitting there looking at him like, what are you taking? What drugs are you on, mate? Are you serious right now? Like, do you really have all that self-esteem? Like, teach me. Like, that's amazing. I want to be like you. Look like shit and think I'm George Clooney. Like, you know. Oh god. So that's one type of narcissist as well. So you get the Mr. Beautiful and you get the Mr. Ugly that thinks that is Mr. Beautiful. Right, guys? Okay. So we spoke about the grandiose, we spoke about the entitlement, the self-love, the too high self-esteem. Another thing about narcissists that we didn't speak of yet is how they like to use people. So another way to identify the narcissist, I'm sure you all have that friend. Do you know that friend? And I'm thinking about a friend of mine right now, really, to do this post. So, I mean, friend. Do you know that friend that only calls you when they need something, but then every single time that you need something, they're just never there for you? That sounds like a narcissist. The narcissist expects you to be there for them and to be interested in what they have to say, what they're going through, or about their lives. They expect you to give them your time to listen to their problems, listen to their bullshit, give them free advice, be there for them when they need somebody, blah blah blah. But on the other way around, whenever you're lonely, needy, sad, depressed, going through stuff, they just vanish. Like they never existed. You can be in hospital, dying, literally, and the narcissistic friend, will not even show up. That's how they are. But then, that same friend expects you to be there for them all night long, 4 a.m. in the morning, listening to them crying and blah 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 all night because they had a little heartbreak with some crush from Tinder that they're with whom they're having a relationship. You know? That's a narcissist for you, right? Okay, guys, so I think I covered most of the traits of a narcissist, and that with this, I think you can already start to identify them. And on the next video, we're going to talk about the two different types of narcissists, and also narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, so stay tuned. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you soon, right? Take care. Ciao, ciao.